Today I'm going to share things that you need as a beauty therapist, just essentials, things that I personally recommend and that I found really helpful. It's just made my life a lot easier. The first thing that I feel like is essential for a beauty therapist is a backpack. The reason this is essential is because I've realised that after a long day at work where you've already put so much pressure on your body, I found that carrying a shoulder bag, carrying that weight on one side of my body has been painful. Ever since I switched to a backpack, it's just, the weight is now just balanced. I don't mind carrying it. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. I really like how this just fits my lunchbox in. So I put my lunchbox in at the bottom and then my water bottle in the side. There's no risk of it spilling either because it's just on my back and it's straight. Whereas when I used to carry my shoulder bag, I found that a lot of things would move around. I spilt so much stuff in my handbag. I really like this size of a backpack. It's not too big, not too small. I think this is just perfect. The next thing that's essential is bringing your own lunch to work. Sometimes you run late and that can run into your lunchtime. When that happens, you still have to go out and buy your food, which again is cutting into your lunchtime. So the reason I highly recommend that you take your own lunch into work is because you don't have to waste that time. You can save that time where you can rest. It can be healthier. I feel like I eat less because when I used to buy lunch, I used to get the meal deal. So I used to get a sandwich, a water bottle, crisps, and then I used to get chocolate. I used to get a jar of olives and maybe some fruit. That's a lot of food. When I started bringing in my own lunch to work, I fill up. It's like it's just real food, it's filling, and I haven't been spending more either, so it saves as well. The next essential is bringing in your own snacks into work, and the reason this is essential is because my lunch is around 12:1 and then I finish work at 8 o'clock. If I don't eat anything from 1 to 8, I get a headache. If I have a snack, then I don't get hungry, I don't get a headache, I have some energy. Normally the snacks I personally have is either some fruit, so raspberries or a satsuma is my favourite. Maybe some mango or nuts. Nuts isn't a great example because a lot of people are allergic to nuts, and also I have experienced a few times where I've choked on the nuts, where I've quickly had some nuts, ran into my treatment, and then there was still some stuck in my teeth, and then I started choking on it, and yeah, it wasn't great. What else do I have? I have olives because I just love black pitted olives, but yeah, just any sort of snack, even some chocolate. The next essential is a water bottle that you can refill, something that looks like this. I really recommend the ones with this sort of straw sort of thing. When I used to get the meal deal and I always used to get a water bottle, I used to get the one that you sort of like, you know, the ones where you have to suck and then once you stop drinking the water, it just makes loads of noise when the air goes back into it. So this doesn't make a lot of noise when you're drinking water because you want it to be quiet when you're drinking this during a treatment. You can also get the ones where they have measurements, so you're tracking how much water you're drinking. I feel like I don't drink enough water if I don't have this with me, and when I don't drink enough water I also get a headache. Another essential, this is probably not a great thing to recommend, it's painkillers. If I don't have time to have my snacks, to drink enough water, I get a really bad headache, and it won't go away unless I take painkillers. So I recommend that you keep some painkillers in your bag just in case. The next thing that is essential for a beauty therapist is this baby right here, this nurse's watch. People at work always make fun of me and they always call it a tit watch. It's not a titty watch. Okay, it's a nurse's watch, and I cannot live without this thing. I feel like I keep organised, you know, especially during a massage. I feel like this is so handy because if you're wearing a watch you have to take it off because it would probably scrape on the client when you're massaging and it will be covered in oil. You have to check your phone with your oily hands. I feel like this is just so much better to have during a massage. I've also got this one which I got from Argos, and you can sort of change the colour of the case. I personally have never used the purple one. I just feel like the black one goes with everything. But yeah, you just take the little watch out and you can just slide it in and have different colours and patterns. This one is a lot longer than the metal one that I have. The metal one came in my beauty kit when I was studying level 2, but they have these online. It's, you know, go on eBay, there are loads of these. One thing that you need to be careful with if you're wearing these is when you're massaging a client and you're leaning over them, I notice that this is hitting the person's head when I'm leaning over. I don't know if that's because I'm short. I'm sure if you're taller and you've got longer arms, maybe it won't happen. But I noticed it when I got a massage done myself and I felt something hitting my head. It was this. So the therapist who was massaging me was wearing this, and this was the thing that was touching my head when they were leaning over. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That's why I mainly prefer this one, because it's shorter and there's lower risk of it hitting the person's head when you're massaging. But yeah, this in general is essential for a beauty therapist. The next thing that is essential is deodorant and perfume. Now, I personally only put deodorant on and perfume on in the morning, and most of the time I never have to reapply. But if I am feeling very sweaty and a little bit smelly because I've had a very hectic day, I do spray a little bit of perfume. I don't spray too much because there are some clients who are really sensitive to fragrance, but you need to smell nice, so probably go for a perfume or a body spray that's, you know, not too heavy. But these are definitely essential for a beauty therapist, especially if you're a smoker. After you've been out smoking, to come back, a bit of perfume, body spray, something just to get rid of the smell, because some clients can be bothered by it. Another essential, I'm just getting it out of my handy backpack, is chewing gum or mints. Now, chewing gum, it doesn't look professional, but what I do is after I've had my lunch, I chew the gum, I rest a bit, and then I throw the chewing gum away when I go back into treatment. Or you can just have mints, which is a lot easier. But yeah, fresh breath is essential for a beauty therapist. The next thing that is essential is if you have a cough or sore throat, having some cough sweets in your locker is very, very handy. I personally really like Halls, for example. Just any sort of cough sweet, because the worst thing is when you're in a treatment, you need to cough, you're holding it, and then your eyes water, you've got tears running down your face, you're still holding it and you're like swallowing, and then you need to sneeze. Does that ever happen to anyone, where you need to sneeze because you've held your cough? It's the worst thing. So yeah, having that little cough sweet is gonna save your throat and save your mascara, and just, yeah, it's really handy. The next thing that is essential for a beauty therapist is hand sanitizer. Now, where I work personally, we have like the hospital style ones that's on the walls. We have it in most of the rooms and where the manicure area is, and that's where I feel like it's essential. I feel like it's so important to put hand sanitizer on both yourself and the customer when they come in for a manicure. They might have been on public transport, and do you know what I mean? It's just, I find that the majority of customers do not wash their hands before a manicure. I only have maybe 1% of clients say, oh, I'm just going to quickly wash my hands. 99% of clients don't. I've had clients where they said, oh, I'm just going to go to the toilet, and I know that they haven't washed their hands because I can tell the water in the bathroom is freezing and it takes forever for the water to heat up. So I know if they've washed their hands because their hands feel cold and it's not dry because they've just washed it. So when I felt this client's hands, I know that she hasn't washed her hands and she's just gone to the toilet, and it just makes me feel sick. Sorry, that was a bit dramatic, but it's just like, come on. The next thing that is essential for a beauty therapist is having a nail file, and you probably have it near you anyway. I personally cannot work with long nails. Any sharp edges, it bothers me. I find that I can scratch the client. So having this, especially my thumbs, I feel like my thumbnails need to be quite short. So I need to keep this around, or, you know, sometimes I use the one in the salon. I quickly file down my thumbnails. It feels a lot nicer. Another essential is to put a packet of plasters in your locker. Now, I'm sure you guys have plasters in your first aid kit, but you don't want to waste them, because I change these quite a lot. You can cut yourself if you're clumsy like me, but if you cut yourself, I think the worst thing is being paranoid that you're going to catch something. I think this is essential. Another essential are hairbands. Now, I lose these a lot. I don't even know how, but I normally keep one on my wrists at all times, but sometimes I lose them. That's why I like to keep spare ones in my bag, or you can keep it in your locker. I cannot work with my hair down. My hair is very long, it gets in the way. I can't do it. It needs to be up. I feel like it's more professional as well. I know that there are a lot of spas where part of the uniform is having your hair up, so you're not allowed to have it down. So yeah, hairbands is essential. Another essential is Tiger Balm and a hot water bottle. When I've had a really long, hectic day and I've been in an awkward position for most of the day, if I've done waxing all day, massage all day, pedicures all day, I come home and I am aching so much, or I feel it the next day. And the best thing to do is having a hot shower, putting Tiger Balm on my neck or my lower back, wherever I've got the pain, putting this on the area, and then I just feel so much better the next day. So I feel like Tiger Balm or deep heat or something, hot water bottle, is essential for a beauty therapist. Another thing that is essential is stretching. I really struggle. There are times where I don't do it at all. I probably stretch properly once a week, which is really bad. I should be doing it every day. So yeah, stretching every morning and evening would be good, but yeah, once a day is essential. Another essential is comfortable shoes. Okay, you are on your feet all day running about. There are times where you sit down when you're doing nails, pedicure, facials and stuff like that. There are a lot of times where you're standing up and you're going up and down the salon. I'm lucky I'm allowed to wear trainers at work. I personally just wear Nike trainers. I find them very comfortable. My feet don't sweat. They're breathable, so yeah, that's what I personally wear. But the only downside to the trainers that I have is if it's raining, which in London it's raining all the time, my shoes and my socks get wet. So I am on the hunt for looking for a new pair of shoes that are comfortable and waterproof. But yeah, comfortable shoes for a beauty therapist is essential. If you are a beauty therapist and you know of other things that are essential for us, then comment them down below. I would love to hear what they are. If you want to support me, then you can subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.